Hello, welcome to iGod Today, your daily reflection, and I am Father Soney Sebastian, a Divine Word missionary priest. Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden light. The gospel calls for total giving of self, not as the denial of that self, but as the only way to find one's true self. At the same time, our God is a God of infinite patience and compassion as we stumble along in our efforts to unite ourselves fully with Him. Our King is a King of peace, not just in the sense of an external absence of violence, but of a deep inner peace. He is the Prince of Peace. He says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are overburdened, and I will give you rest." Whatever demands Jesus may make on our following of Him, He wants to be at all times truly a source of comfort and consolation, and of forgiveness and reconciliation. Whatever demands life may be making on us, He is there to be part of that. When we are in difficulties and pain, we can ask Him to take them away. He may not always do so, but we can expect Him to restore our peace. For we need to remember that Jesus is not to be seen as an escape from our problems, because sometimes He will give us peace not from our pain, but within our pain. Jesus' own life is an excellent example. In the Garden of Gethsemane, faced with imminent arrest, torture, and execution, He did not want to have, He didn't want to have to go through that. This is a perfect, normal human reaction to the threat of death. He said, "Take away this cup away from me." Jesus begged. He begged His Father to spare Him going through this pain and suffering. He says, "Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me." He prayed. But then at the end of His prayer, He said, "Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." We find the Father was silent and His will was clear in that silence. Jesus should face what is coming. And when Jesus rises from His prayer, he's a very different person. From that moment on, and for the rest of His passion experience, He reveals nothing but quiet dignity and strength in the face of all kinds of abuse and humiliations. He's full of there's an inner peace which had come once He had said that total yes to His Father. His prayer in the garden had been answered, although not in the way He originally requested. So Jesus says today, "Shoulder my yoke and you will find rest." Yes, my yoke is easy and my burden light. We now have a lovely image of Jesus and me and you yoked together, pulling together. And that's why He says, "Shoulder my yoke." Then becomes, "Share my yoke." Where I go, He goes along with me, pulling together with me and making it all the more easier. We are called to be with Jesus all the way, accepting His life vision, His standards and His values. Jesus has the secret of living our lives well. Is it not time that we Christians discovered this wonderful secret and began to share it with others? Share it. Share our burden, because the yoke that He gives is easy and the burden is light. Amen.